Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sasha, and today we are continuing my journey with the Boyz. They have just had a brand new comeback with their title track called Roar. So far, I've been able to find the music video and a performance video, and I'm not going to mention where the performance video is from. You'll know where it's from, but I'm going to do everything I can to not get my video and to make sure we can all see this together. This is going to be filmed on 2 different days, but it'll all be one video because I want to come back once we get the dance practice so I can actually do my full analysis. So this first section of the video where I look like this today is just going to be a music video reaction and the performance reaction, and then the second half of the video is going to be a dance practice and analysis, as long as they stay true to the Boyz fashion and give us a dance practice to react to. So we'll see what happens. I'm really excited to be back with the Boyz. I think I missed at least 1 comeback, possibly 2. The last thing I reacted to them was Echo and Drink It. Drink It Up? Is that? I can't remember exactly the title of the song. But that was the last the Boyz reaction or music I've listened to, and they're still 2 of my favorite songs of theirs, including, of course, my all-time favorite, Maverick. And it's looking like this concept is very similar, so I can't wait to watch it with you. I'm so excited. Before we start, as always, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment here on my channel and my videos. Also, if you go down to the description box, I have links to my Etsy shop where I have a lot of the Boyz items available for purchase that I make, and it would just really make me so happy to see some of you guys leaving little notes like, I came from your YouTube channel. That would just be an amazing crossing of worlds. But we're going into this music video. I'm so excited. It's Juyeon on the thumbnail like this, or like this. I can't even, it's, wow, I can't wait. Okay, here we go. A little airy, like, flute sound. Shoes. Ooh. Look at that ripple. Why is he the only one in like a color? New's hair is a color, I guess. What like Marvel movie is this? With the underground? His blonde hair. Oh my god. Kevin! Oh my god. I can't even think of anything to say. This is, I keep thinking the word theatrical. Eric! Vampires? Are we staying with Drink It? Ooh! I'm regretting not turning on translation. Now they're fallen angels? Oh, the forward! I can't wait! Look at this dance break! Oh my god! Now it's landing! What? Oh, that's too much! Oh god! Let's go, Q! Wow. Wow. I've made myself lightheaded because I didn't breathe enough. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to start. So much. There's so much. I don't know if there are different storylines for each member. Like, do they each have a different storyline and it's all combined into one video? Or are they all on the same path? Because at first it was just like, I'm like so hot and bothered. I have chills, I'm cold, my body is freaking out. It's gonna be okay. I just need a minute. Okay, so at first, it's very interesting and cool, the shots that we're getting in the music video. Oh my gosh, this is my first video of the day and I've just destroyed myself. Anyway, some of my favorite shots was when they stepped on the open grate and then dropped it down. I don't understand the sneaker thing unless that's a promotion in the video, which, like, get your coin, good for you. I really liked the ripple with the kick in a straight line all the way down when they were on that fence. That was sick. And then we started to get flashes of other, because in the beginning it's very normal but not, because of all the sort of illusions or like magical transitions that were happening, but it was all very like a common typical color scheme and not supernatural yet. Then when it starts to pop off is when we get that flash and that weird creepy smile that reminds me from the character Venom. Isn't he in the Spider-Man universe? The Marvel universe? That's what it reminded me of at first. And I was like, okay, we're going Marvel superhero. And then they were like, no, we're not. And we got a flash of vampires and like the converging onto each member sometimes, especially it was Eric and I think Kevin. And then we got like the fallen angels with the wings, but that could also still be a metaphor for the vampires. It just depends on what kind of lore we're going with. And I don't know what we're going with. There was a lot to work through and to figure out. Oh my God, that floor section dance break. I've said it so many times. The Boyz own floor work in K-pop. I don't care, argue with me. It's a fact. It's not my opinion. It is a fact. I can't wait to see that section. I hope that's not just a music video thing. I hope it's actually performed on stage, and I hope it's part of it. I hope it's not just an added little thing for the music video. I'll be really upset. Oh, wow. And then it started to rain. Okay, we're gonna watch the performance video next. I don't know if I'll be more or less wrecked. Typically, it's more with dancing. So let's get into that. Here we go. Wow. And I didn't even talk about the song yet because the song hasn't hit my brain. The song is a lot tamer than I was expecting, which is a complete contrast to the visual and the story they're telling. It's sort of like a hummy, just like chill with the whistle or the flute or whatever that airy sound is, and then we get the percussion, boom, boom. Like, those two sounds mixing together, it's very interesting. It's kind of carefree in a way that's almost dangerous. It's like they're just accepting that this change, this metamorphosis is happening, where they're becoming this monster, and they're just having a great time and living life as it is now. That's the vibe I'm getting from it. So I don't know. We are going into this performance. Buckle up. That's really advice for myself, not so much for you, because I'm sure you've seen it. I need to be calm. I need to be chill. Oof. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Oh. He looks so tall today. There it is. Yes! I love the shapes they're making already. Oh my god. I've missed them so much. Oh my god. Oh! Oh my god, I love it. Oh, those knees. Oh my god. They're using a lot of soloists controlling the group in this. Look at, again. I love the level. I love that we keep getting very triangles, but instead of having the point at the front, the point is consistently in the back. Oh, Eric! I'm so happy! Another ripple! Ah, the floor work! Okay, okay, it's coming. If they're gonna do it, it's coming soon. I need to breathe more. I love that they slow it down for that section. Wow. 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 Keep breathing. Floor work. Oh my god. This is it. This is it. This is it. Oh my god, the growling. That's exactly what they did in the beginning. They're referencing choreography. Oh my god, that's like bite my neck. I love that! Oh my god. That was so good. Literally, what the heck? That was so good. I had forgotten. You know how you know something in the back of your head, just like, I know this about this group, and you just always know it. And I knew that the Boyz were great performers because I've been watching them for like 2 years now, I think. But I forgot just how insane they can be because I haven't been watching them consistently. Oh my gosh, I did not expect to get this wrecked by them. If I thought it was gonna happen this way, I would have done this video last. Oh my god, and we still have to cover the dance practice if we get a dance practice. I don't really have much to say about the choreography other than I really love the formations we're getting. I really enjoy the levels. The amount of floor work in this, I would say it's almost like 35% of the dance or choreography has an element of floor choreography, which is a lot. Like when you're singing live and when you're performing as full out as they are, that is a lot of going to the ground and getting back up. Oh my gosh. I love that Eric got a little duet moment. I think it was with Hakanyan, and that's, I don't think I'm pronouncing his name right, so please let me know in the comments. I always have a lot of trouble with his name. That was just so sweet to have Eric back finally in another comeback, and he just looks like he's doing so well, and I'm so happy. Oh my gosh, there's so much I could say, but I can't think, so I can't say it. I'm gonna end it here, and then if I end up having the dance practice, I'll cut this part out, and see you in the dance practice. Hello! It's a new day, I'm back. The Boyz have finally dropped 2 different versions of this dance practice, and one of them is a fixed version, which if you know me, you'll know is my favorite version to watch from an analysis perspective. I know the moving versions can make it look cooler, add more of a dynamic, but I'm not really looking for the camera work to do the work, if you will. I'm trying to really understand the choreography, the shapes, the formations, and everything that's going on within the dancing itself, so I can analyze it better for you guys. Full disclosure, this morning, since it's been about a week since I recorded the first section of this video, I did go back and watch the studio twice, so I could familiarize myself with the song again and sort of get caught up with the choreography once again, get it back in my brain. I've already noticed so much that we need to talk about that I think is really cool, and I'm really even more excited to see this from a Steadicam perspective with just them dancing in the background, foreground, I don't know which ground it would be. I don't know camera terms like that, but I'm excited regardless. So let's just jump into this second part of the video today. I'm so excited. Okay, so for this part of the video, I am going to be taking notes, so if I'm looking down, that's why. Let's go. Ooh. I love that. Wow. Da-na-na-na-na. Ooh, ooh. Oh my god, his knees! Eric, be safe. Oh, I love it! Da, 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 da. This level, and then it goes back. Oh my god! love how slow to go really quick. Da 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 da, ba ba, slow, slow. Wow, this section is so cool. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Wow. Look at that floor work. Oh my god. I also want you guys for the rest of this to pay attention to when their hands are loose and open or when they're in a fist. Oh my god, this part too is so cool. Wow! The story that's happening within this choreography. Present your neck, let's go. Wow! I want to watch it again, but I'm not for the sake of time. Since this video was already split into 2 days, 2 different sections, I've probably rambled so much already in this. Let's just try and dive in to the comments I have from watching it this morning to then watching it now with you guys. There's so much to cover that I honestly don't really know where to start. I think I'm gonna start with the one thing I noticed the most when I watched it by myself this morning and then was watching it again now. So, we've talked about the Boyz and their floating arms before. That is a thing they do so well. They've always had such a contemporary flair to them that when I was first watching them, I was very curious about the members' dancing backgrounds and wondering if there was anyone in this group who was specifically trained in a contemporary style. This choreography takes it almost a step further and brings us directly into ballet, but not necessarily like Nutcracker ballet, but more of a modern contemporary ballet style. This is giving a little bit of Swan Lake, which is again more towards the contemporary, but just stick with me here. For the visuals we're getting, we get a lot of wing presentation through the choreography. We get a lot of the arms being, hold on, like directly behind them, especially when they do the foot part. All of that is very much giving a wing imagery or a presentation. Like if you're in ballet and you're walking on stage with your arms back, your chest out, you're presenting yourself as if it's like a royal scene, or if you're the primary dancer in that scene, that's what it's reminding me of. I'm getting so much of that imagery, and it ties back into the storyline from the music video where we get that fallen angel scene depicted. So as soon as I saw that in the choreography, I was like, wings. Okay. In terms of technique, that's not necessarily presenting any sort of distinguishable shape or story element. They do a lot of this choreography in a 4th, 5th, or 2nd position, to the point where it's not just like, oh, they did 5th position once. Like, no, it's happening over and over and over. And 5th position with your feet, if these are my toes, this is my heel. Your front foot is out like this, your back toe connects to your heel, and ideally your other heel connects to your other toes. So it would be this formation, toes, heel, right? So we're getting a lot of 5th position. 4th position is almost the same, but your front foot is up a little bit. So it would look like this in a 4th position. 2nd position is both of your feet out to the side, just outside of your shoulders. Or it depends on which type of 2nd position we're talking about, but that's into like the nitty gritty. We also get a soutenu, which is where you're in 4th typically 5th position, and then you turn on yourself and your other foot comes to the front. So you just turn and switch feet, turn and switch feet. They do that towards the very end and possibly another time in this dance. And it just reinforces what position their feet are in for me as a dancer analyzing this. When it comes to their arms are also in a lot of really interesting, foundationally ballet positions. We get a lot of their arms in a 4th position, and I'm not doing it fully because I can't fit. Can I scoot back anymore? So we would get like, first arm is in front of you, second arm is above you. We get this a lot, especially when Nu has his moment in the center. His arms start like this, he twists like this and comes back. That's a very interesting section of this. We also get their arms mimicking almost an Italian pas de chat, which is, I'm like throwing out so many terms today because it's just screaming ballet at me. An Italian pas de chat is where you do a leap, where your one leg is straight out to the side, your other leg bends at the knee, and your toe tries to connect under that second leg. And we get that with their arms a little bit, where they do like this sort of motion. There's so many feet and arms in this that are pulled straight from ballet. So I really want to know more about this choreographer or choreographer team and pick their brain. Be like, what was your training like? Did you just naturally do all of these like movements that are straight out of ballet technique like 101? Like I have so many questions specifically about this choreography. We get this similar vibe of like really interesting, almost mixing of contemporary ballet with hip hop a little bit in the Stealer, because that reminds me of some of the arms, but this is the most I think I've ever seen from them. I'm gonna try and stop talking about ballet for the rest of the video and comment on some general things that I noticed. Wish me luck, because all I can think of right now is ballet. The chorus is a really interesting section for me. I've already talked about how the arms are presenting behind, chest out, and then their feet are doing that really smooth glide. What's interesting is that they connect those two phrases by going smooth, 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 step, step, da 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 da, smooth, smooth, smooth. It's that connecting piece that makes the two really slow, glide, smooth sections so very interesting, especially from a character perspective. If we're imagining that they are vampires or fallen angels, I'm going towards vampire personally. So if that's wrong, please let me know in the comments and I will say, oh, sorry, I didn't know that. But from what I was getting from the music video, I'm thinking vampire. It's so interesting because if you've read or watched any vampire lore, they're very much on the surface, just like so seductive and have everything at their fingertips. They have so much power and control over mortals, and that's what that like smooth glide is reminding me of. But then there's always that moment where they don't feed enough and the hunger overpowers them and they turn feral out of nowhere. And that's that really fast, like rapid, chaotic moment. And then they're sated and they're fine again. And we're back to like the smooth, calm, cool, collected, supernatural being. That is what that section reminds me of so very much. We also get that part at the end where they do that like head, turn, present, neck section. That is so very vampire of them. And then I just realized it as we were watching. I mentioned it the first time we watched these videos, how there's so much of one member controlling the group, and now it's very much giving the main vampire who sired everyone else, who's in control. And that's why we see so much of just like da-ga-da-ga-da, where they literally will just have an arm out and the whole group will do that level change where it's like half of them go down and then they switch and do something and then switch back. That like master puppeteer choreography also lends itself so much to the story that's being told. And the Boyz have always been so good at adding a story to their choreography, but still every time it like blows me away. I haven't looked at my notes one single time while talking about this choreography because this is all just like what I can remember. In the beginning, it very much, that choreography on the ground feels like a flower being bloomed or coming to life. So that again can represent sort of the siring of these supernatural beings or waking up from like a deep sleep. There's also so many moments, especially with the arm and then switching to the other arm, that reminds me of taking a breath or like lungs expanding. There's so much in this choreography that lends itself to a breathing or like a wave or breeze or air sort of element that I think is really interesting to add to this story. The kicking in this is so often and so specific. Obviously, my favorite one is when they're in the two diagonal lines in a ripple and they go kick, 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 kick. Oh my God, kick me right in the face. It's so good. That's probably one of my very favorite parts. And then we get the kick either one or two more times when they're in their diagonal. And I think it's Sunu or Changmin in front. I can't remember who it is. But the kick is really interesting too, because they almost do like a swivel and then kick. It's not just like a turn and kick. I honestly was wondering a little bit if it comes from Taekwondo or some sort of martial art, because it's not necessarily something from dance. It reminds me of two different types of kicks from a dance perspective combined into one new pattern. So if that is a martial arts movement, please let me know, because every time I see it, I'm just like, this is so interesting. Oh, another one of my favorite things that they do is what we would call in ballet, I'm back to ballet, y'all. Who took bets on me not being able to not say it again in this video? We would call it like a port-de-bras, where you would go full, like if you're standing up, you would bring your arms, sweep down and sweep up. Well, they do it with both arms, where they bow and their arms come down and present, and then their arms come back up and present. That was again almost like an internal struggle, or just bowing to who sired them, or just like giving into the craving. Like there's so many different ways you could interpret that movement. And there was a lot of this second position arm break. And I honestly can't remember what it was called in ballet, but we had to do this, I can't think of the words at all to describe it, but your arms would start in first position, go up to fifth position, they would come out, float up, and bring back down, and you would do it over and over again to learn the different like movement and how to go from your shoulders to your elbows. It was just bringing awareness into your body, especially as like teaching a child how to do different movements and what it should look like, instead of just like a robot. Like you're really just teaching the body awareness of how to make it breathe and feel effortless. They do this breaking movement so much in this dance. And again, it's just right back to such a 101 ballet technique movement that I couldn't not notice it. In terms of beat and sort of giving a visual to the sounds we're hearing, I thought it was really interesting that we would always get a 1-2 or a 1-2-3 with their feet before going into a big movement with the arm to offset that. And it wasn't as frequent that they would do the fast movement with both their arms and their feet. It was almost always the feet would start really quick and then it would like ripple up the body into a slow arm. And I thought that was such an interesting way to sort of transition the energy through the body. We also had a lot of this where you can sort of tell when it's more hip hop inspired versus ballet inspired. I'm just laughing at myself for mentioning it again. By if they had a fist, or if their hands were more open, looser, or even like sort of this. Because even if you were doing like a claw, you were still referencing the ballet movement while having that stylized claw. So if you watch the dance again and you're trying to see, is this more hip hop influenced? Is this more ballet influenced? That's almost a dead giveaway, is to watch their hand position. Is it like this, or is it more open? Even if it's open and still has tension in it, which one is happening? One of my favorite parts is obviously with Young Hoon, where they're all, I didn't notice it until this time, but they all ripple into that position that's like a little bit of a mountain, or like just at an angle. And then Eric holds him as he leans back. The trust in that could also be tied back into this story, because if we are imagining Young Hoon is the sire or master of all of these vampires, they need to save him at all costs. Depending on what vampire lore we are going with, if the sire gets killed, so does everyone in his line. So you have to protect him all the time. And to just watch how beautiful that scene is, where they all connect to Eric, and then I think it's Eric, and then Eric is the one who's holding him and making sure he's safe. Wow, it's so good. I think that's where I'm gonna end this video today. Because I talked about ballet for so long, I think I want to end it just by saying I started ballet when I was 5, and I was moved up to doing point when I was 12, because the theory that my teachers went with was that your feet have a lot of the growth plates in them, and if you put a child on point too early, it can really damage their feet and they won't be able to walk properly. I know there's like different cultures do different things, but that was the sort of thinking that my teachers went with. So we weren't allowed to audition for point until we were 12 years old. And you actually did have to audition, and it was like a little bit of a test where they had to see if your feet were strong enough and if you could do everything that would be asked of you on point in just regular ballet shoes. And then I think I was on point for 4 years after that. And point terrified me, I'll be totally honest, because I have hypermobile joints and ligaments. I got injured a lot when I was doing point. There's just no way to sugarcoat that. And yeah, point was really scary for me, but ballet was my favorite style of dancing growing up. There was just something so therapeutic about going to class. You had the same warm-up every time at the bar. Then you would come to the center of the room and do pirouettes and different jumping warm-ups, and then you would do your leaps across the floor, your turns across the floor, and then you would work on whatever dance you were preparing at the time. It was my favorite class every week, and I think at one point I was taking 2 or 3 ballet classes in addition to like jazz, contemporary, tap, hip-hop. I just loved ballet so much. And actually in 8th grade, I won. In our studio, they always gave an award at the end of the year for who was the best student in each genre of dance. And in 8th grade, I won Best Ballet Student, which meant the next year I could take as many ballet classes as I wanted for free, which was like so cool, especially because we really struggled to put me through dance and money was always a problem. So to be able to take classes for free was just like a dream come true. I think that's why I couldn't stop talking about ballet in this reaction and analysis, because it's so prevalent. It's so ingrained in the movements that they were doing. And yes, there's a lot of this that's hip hop. Like, I didn't talk about floor work, I didn't talk about intensity, but I feel like I do that in most of the Boyz videos. And this time it was just so important to touch on this new thing that I saw. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and are okay that this took maybe a turn none of you were expecting. I definitely wasn't expecting this to be a discussion about ballet, but I'm very happy it was because it just reminds me of why I love doing these videos so much. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you guys in the next one. See you next time. Bye!